Hi everyone, now that we've set up our Moodle website or our Moodle site or completed our Moodle installation, there are two important aspects that we need to cover first before we create courses or before we do anything on our platform. And I'll show you those two important aspects now. The first important feature that you need to adhere to is setting up your email account before you do anything. Why is this important? Because you as an admin can be logged out, or if you set up courses and the courses sends out notifications, no notifications will end up in the student's inbox. Okay, so it's important that you set up the email account or outgoing email within Moodle before you set up any courses or set up any triggers on your platform. So let me show you how this is done. So this is the first thing you need to do. Okay, so let's go and do that. Click on Site Administration. And then under Server, click on Outgoing Mail Configuration. Okay, so now we need some information from our server. Okay, so back to your hosting account where you log in. Okay, and under Email Account, click on Email Accounts. If you don't have email accounts currently in your email accounts list, let's create one. So let's click on Create here. Then there's our domain that we will be using, elearningportal.education. We can select a different domain if you have different domains, but leave it on elearningportal.education. Now you need to choose a username. Okay, so let's call this test. And remember, test will be the prefix for @elearningportal.education. So your email address will then be test@elearningportal.education. I can generate a new password. Okay, so it will automatically generate a password, and then I click on Create. Okay, I also have optional settings where I can click on the storage space for this particular user, or to automatically create folders. Okay, I'll leave it on its default and I'll click on Create, and this will set up that new email account called test@elearningportal.education. If I want to delete this email account, I can select the email account and then click on Delete. Again, it asks me if I'm sure, and I click on Delete to remove that email account. So for new email accounts, I click on Create. For ones that I want to delete, I select the one and then hit Delete. Okay, so now we need the SMTP host, we need the SMTP security, as well as all the other information to set up the outgoing mail. Okay, so let's go here, and we want to set it up as admin@elearningportal.education. So now I can click on Connect Devices. It will provide me with this setup, my mail client manual settings. It provides me with my username, my outgoing SMTP. So I'll copy that address here. I'll copy it and I'll paste it in my host. So I'll paste it here. Okay. Then SMTP security. If I go back, you'll see here, this is a secure SSL. And I also have a non-secure SSL. Okay. So if I'm using this one, I need to copy this. If I'm using this one, I need to copy this. Okay. So, and we'll choose here, it's an SSL. Now for SMTP authorization type, it's a login type. And now I need to specify the username. And my username here is admin@elearningportal.education. I'll copy that and I'll paste it in here. And now for my SMTP password, this you will find, you can set it up by clicking on, going back here, clicking on next to your email account, clicking on Manage, and then specifying a password here. Okay. If you generate a password, you click on Update Email Account, and then you copy that password and you paste it in here. So there's my password. So let's just copy my password in there. So I'll just copy and paste it, my SMTP password there. Okay, we'll leave SMTP session on 1 limit. We'll leave the no reply email address, and we can also specify allowed email domains, okay, in here. We can also specify divert all emails to this email address, and we can use an exception, a rule here within this box. Okay, all the other fields we can leave on its default. We can click on Save Changes, and there our email account is set up. Okay, it's all set up. So now that it's all set up, we can test the outgoing email configuration by clicking on Test Outgoing Mail Configuration. We can specify an email address we want to send the test out, and then send from the username or email address and then a subject. But let's create an email account here for testing. So I'll call this testing. So it will be testing at elearningportal.education. I'll generate a password, which I'll copy that password, and everything looks fine. Let's create that email account, and let's log into that email account by clicking on Check Email. The first time you log into your email account, it will ask you which mail server you want to use. So I'll use Roundcube. So I'll choose this, open my inbox when I log in. So I click on Open. Okay, so there's my email account. So it's testing at elearningportal.education. Okay, so now let's go back to our site, and we specify here testing at elearningportal.education, and I'll choose here, it's from admin at elearningportal.education, and this is a test message. Okay, so let's send out the message. And now you'll see this site has successfully sent a test message to your mail server from admin and then to testing. Okay, so now let's go and check. So let's refresh this. Okay, so there you'll see there's 2 messages. Okay, so let's click on that message, and you'll see here that this is a test message to confirm that you have successfully configured your site's outgoing mail. So now you know your site's email address is correctly set up. So if ever you forgot your password, you can reset your password, and you know that you will receive emails from your website. One other important aspect that we need to set up before we create courses or set up activities is our time zone. Okay, so let's set up our time zone by clicking on Site Administration, scrolling down to where you see Location, and then clicking on Location Settings. Here is our default time zone, and you need to specify here what your default time zone is. So I'm in South Africa, so I will choose Africa, Johannesburg, and this is our time zone, so I'll select that, but I will leave on users can choose their own time zone. I'll leave everything on its default, scroll down and click Save Changes, and that will update my time zone. Now, whenever I have users that are abroad, they can go into their profile, click on Preferences, click on Edit Profile, and they can change their time zone specific to their needs by clicking on selecting time zone, selecting a time zone, and then choosing one from the drop-down list. And this will allow it to sync to our current time zone. Also, if you create activities or quizzes or assignments that have due dates, they need to know the exact time that due date is. Okay, so it's important that they set their time zone depending on the particular area they are in. But for default, I'll leave it on Africa, Johannesburg.